Pause. Hi everyone, happy Sunday. I hope we're all doing well. I'm here again to give you let me arrange myself. So I'm here again to bring us today is gonna be things that people say that is really annoying. And my video is about educating people. And if you take your time to watch my videos, number one, I never said Japa is bad. Even people that are commenting and saying, does this mean Japa is bad? I tell them, no, Japa is not bad. Japa has its pros, it has its cons. Just like every other decision you make in life, there are pros and cons. And I don't regret that I Japa. It's just time to Japa that. That is one, addressing that. And then people coming to say all kind of stuff. I want to address four things. Happiness, fulfillment, success, and contentment. I want to address these four things. So this lecture might be a little long. So, like I said, if you watch my video well, I said, especially in the video I made yesterday, I said, what I was saying does not necessarily mean some people are not doing well. When I'm speaking, I choose my words very well. I choose my words carefully. When I say some people are not doing well, you will notice I say some people are doing well. Doing well is different from being successful. So I'm going to start from what somebody said. There's a nurse that relocated to Nigeria. And I don't know if anybody saw that video where she tied wrapper and was talking about why she relocated from the US. And somebody had the nerves to comment that it's people that have failed abroad that relocate back to Nigeria. Listen, it's words like this that make people commit suicide abroad because of the shame of going back home, because of your mouth, because of people like you that don't know what to do with their data. You just come online and say what you want to say. Failure to you is not failure to another person. Yoruba people say moja mosa, lafin mo akikanju loju ogun. It means that a warrior is known by knowing when to fight and knowing when to back out. If you're a great warrior, in the battlefield, you know when to fight and you know when to withdraw. You know when to run. That is what makes you a warrior. You don't fight until you die as a warrior. Even David, as tough as he was, he had won a lot of battle, but there was one he had to ask the Lord, shall I pursue? Shall I overtake? Will I recover? Because at that time he knew that he couldn't do it by his own wisdom or by his past history of I've won a lot of battle. That is how they know a warrior. So the point of turning back is not the point of failure. It's the point of wisdom. Knowing that this thing is not what I thought. This thing is not going my way. It's time to take a step back. And this, I'm sorry I'm diverting a little. I had wanted to make a video on this separately, but I think I wanted to do a short on this statement I'm about to make, but I'll just put it in this video, so that short won't be necessary anymore. In life, it is very important. In life, it's very important to know that it is not every step you take back that means retrogression. No. Sometimes when you want to launch an arrow and you want it to go as far as possible, you have to take several steps back, not even one. You have to take multiple steps back. You can't, if you see people that throw javelin, Sometimes you have to move back and then run forward to launch it. Retrogression does not necessarily mean failure. Taking steps back does not necessarily mean failure. It's about taking steps back so you can see further. So you can see what you couldn't see at the spot you were in. So I don't want to say too much on that. You that you think people who relocate to Nigeria, they have failed abroad, that's why they relocated. I don't have so much to say to you, but let's see how you handle yours when you come. So that's that. So I want to talk about happiness, which is the first thing. And I'm going to give you I don't know the right word to use now. I want to talk about my childhood days. I'm the last born of my family. We used to live in a nice area in Ibadan. I mean, in Ife. I was born and raised in Ife. We used to live in a nice area. My dad worked at OAU, all of that. My dad is this, he likes all this Alakowe. Because he was born in Ghana. He has Ghanaian accent. He lived most of his life there before he relocated back to Nigeria due to their father died or something. And plus that, he was educated. He worked at OAU. He was in their bursary department. He likes all this tush life. Let me put it that way. He was a tush person. So we were raised in the gate, like in, you know, these get inside kids. That's how we were raised. But something happened. My grandma died, and my mom had to take over my grandma's business. My grandma she died in 1998. Up till this day, her name has not gone down in the whole of Ife. Her name has not gone down. She has a name she built for herself. Name well built. So my mom had to take over my grandma's business. But the area my grandma's business was not tush. It was this Raz area. And it wasn't convenient for her going from our house to the business place. So relocation plan came and we had to relocate to that business environment. So we were no longer these get inside children anymore. We're no longer that tush boti anymore. We became a little bit of boti plus street. But I want to tell you that every memory I have from my childhood days is from that street. It's from that, like there's nothing inside. Nothing. That's why you see some kids, once they have the opportunity to go out and they explore, they would rather be outside. What am I trying to say? When I had a tush life, there's no memory from that tush life, apart from my dad wanting us to eat some food. The only things I remember about those times was, you have to eat this food. You have to eat that avocado with rice. You have to eat this. I mean, then we'll go and visit. We went to visit our professor friends. That's all. But that street one, we were happy. We played with kids that were not rich. We played with kids that were living in the same neighborhood. So let me tell you, I didn't grow up suffering. I never attended public school one day in my life. But I found happiness in that not so tush life. So when I said in my video that life is not about money, somebody replied and said, yo, life is not about money, but you said you wanted cars, you wanted houses. Yes, I want cars, I want houses. But if they're going to mess my happiness up, I don't want them. I want the ones that will not threaten my happiness and my sanity. So that is what I want to say about happiness. Happiness to me is not money. That doesn't mean I don't want money. But there are a lot of people that have money and are not happy. I don't want to be that person. There are a lot of people that have big houses that are not happy. There are a lot of people that have big cars that are not happy. I don't want to be those people. Going to fulfillment now. Somebody said in my comment section on one of the videos I posted that if you're a problem solver, you can never find fulfillment abroad, which is 100% true, because they don't have problems. Whatever problem you want to solve, they have already solved. Yeah, we have a few exceptional people. Don't forget, when I'm doing my video and I'm generalizing, I am generalizing on a great percentage of people that fall into this category. Does that mean there's no exception? No, there are exceptions. There are people that are extraordinary. Those are not the people I'm talking about. I'm talking about a vast majority. So yes, there are people that are still discovering things, and they have African ancestors. Yes, even some people immigrated, even some people were born by immigrants, and they are doing extraordinary things. Are you that person? Is that the person I'm talking about in my video? No. This video is covering most people, not a few exceptional people. So when I'm talking about fulfillment, I have talked about a site where I worked and the power was failing and they called me to come and do it. That is fulfillment to me. I solved the problem. If anybody remembers when Lekki Gardens had a very big collapse in 2015 or 2016, and it was chaotic. That same site that they had a collapse at Elegushi, it was multiple, they had these units of buildings. They had this block of buildings, and my company was a subcontractor to one of Lekki Gardens contractors, which was an architectural company. They don't do much of construction or piling, but we handled their project. In this particular line, these buildings were failing. So the one that we are subcontracting to, they called us to come and fix that building because it was already failing. So we had a limited time, because that building was failing seriously. We had a limited time to salvage that building. I was there day and night. We finished that work under 4 days. And guess what? The other person that handled the other project next to us, that person felt like, what are we doing that is special? He can do underpinning. He went ahead and started that underpinning. He did not complete it before that building collapsed. That was Lekki Gardens building collapse that happened in 2015. What am I trying to say? I found a fulfillment that the wind that blew the same building next door to the one I salvaged, mine is standing. That one did not stand the test of time. That is fulfillment to me. Not the dollar that is stacked up in a 401k that I cannot touch until I am getting ready to die. So if your own definition of fulfillment is different from mine, that is you. My definition of fulfillment is in my everyday living. I want to be doing things that I'm happy about. I want to be solving problems in my field. That is my definition of fulfillment. That is what is going to fulfill me. But some people's definition of fulfillment is when they work and their check comes in, they are okay. I'm not okay with that. So you can't impose your definition of fulfillment on me and think that because I decided I'm moving to my home country to go and find fulfillment, I have failed abroad. That is that about fulfillment. Then number 3, you are talking about somebody came and said there are a lot of successful immigrants abroad. Uncle, what is your definition of success? Success is not you have a 6-figure job. That is not success. In case you want to define success, you can open Oxford Dictionary Success means fame. It's either you are successful in a famous way or you are successful because you are wealthy. Understand the definition of wealth. Wealth is different from riches. Wealth is different from you have 6 figures. Wealth is different from you have $5 million in your 401k or your retirement, whatever. That's not wealth. Wealth is success. Then the biggest definition of success that I love is achieving your goals. Oh, no, not even that. Excellence. That's what I wanted to say. Excellence. There are doctors and there are successful doctors. There are doctors that have money. Every doctor, don't let me say every doctor. Most doctors have money, but not most doctors are successful. When you are extraordinary, when you are excellent in your chosen career, that is when you are successful. Not when you get paid. Not when you are stacking up money in your equity on your home. That's not success. And that is why I did not use that word successful or failed in any of my videos, because those are strong words. You don't use them anyhow. You don't come out and say we are successful. Show us that success. Show us that success. If your name has not entered any extraordinary name in this country, you are not yet successful. No. You have money to play with. You have money to go on vacation. Doesn't mean you are successful. So if somebody is coming to say they are successful immigrants here, please, people that have chosen to go home doesn't mean they are not successful. I mentioned in my video yesterday the kind of money I've made from air braiding. Some of you don't make it as a 6-figure earner. The fact that I retreated, I'm not doing this anymore, I don't want to run the rat race with you guys anymore, doesn't mean I have failed. Doesn't mean I am broke. Matter of fact, if I am broke in terms of paper, cash, doesn't mean my portfolio is broke. The same thing that is going on with me is going on with you. You pay your bills, it's over. But you already have a percentage that goes to this, that goes to that. Every time I make my daily money, I have a percentage that goes to this and goes to that, and I get broke. That's okay. Doesn't mean I am broke. So if that is how you want to look at it, that she's broke, that's why she's going to Nigeria. The kind of brokenness that is happening with me is also happening to most people. Pay attention. I like to use most. Somebody was saying, I'm still coming to that, contentment. Okay, let me even go into it now. They commented that if you have a $10,000 income, 20% go to your 401k, 10% goes to your savings, and you build your life around your 7,000. You forgot to add that a great percentage will go to tax, so you don't have 7,000 as a 10,000 earner that wants to save 10% and that wants to put 20% in their 401k. First of all, you forgot to say tax will take some of it. So now, if tax has taken some of it and you want to consciously put 20% in your 401k and 10% in your savings account, and tax has probably taken 25%, you are left with 4,500. And you are still back to the same thing I'm saying that you don't want to accept, which is, as a 10,000 salary earner, living in Georgia, I'm not talking about other states. Living in Georgia, if you want to live in a good neighborhood in Georgia, you're looking at about 2,500 for a 2-bedroom. If you earn $10,000, you're going to be driving a good car. You're going to have a car insurance. You're going to have a health insurance. You're going to be paying your bills. You have kids to feed. You're not going to get Medicaid benefits for your kids. You are not going to want to keep your kids in the house and they don't have extracurricular activities. And that brings us back to the same thing I was saying yesterday. That is, you have to wait for the next check. A lot of people, don't let me say everybody, a lot of people build a life around what they have coming in. And by the time whatever they are expecting comes in, that money is gone to servicing the life they have built. And you will be forced to wait on the next check. And you will be forced to wait on the next check. And that is exactly my point. Rat race. Circle. I don't want to keep dancing around one circle. Now, the person went ahead and said, living within that 10K comfortably is what is called contentment. Contentment is not living within a check. Contentment is being happy with the life you have. That is contentment. Being happy with the life you have. So if you choose to be happy with the life you have built around your 10K, that will not make you go into debt and that will bring you a comfortable retirement. What if I don't want to be capped? Does that mean I'm not contented? No. My module for life, why settle for less when you can get more? That is my module. Why settle for less when you can get more? That's my module for life. So if you are contented with less, don't impose it on me. Who can I use as an example? If Two-Face was contented with being a campus artist when he started his career, he would not move to Lagos for a better life to see who he could meet that will connect him. If Dangote was happy or was contented with producing sugar and salt, he would not move on to doing Dangote cement. Dangote was already rich, but he felt, what else could he do? He went ahead and he opened a refinery. He wasn't the black richest man in the world before that refinery. But lack of contentment with his current situation pushed him to say, what else can I do? And he went ahead and do it. And it brought him a result. It brought him success that we're talking about. It brought him fulfillment. Dangote is fulfilled today. I believe that. His name entering Forbes. His name entering world record as the richest black man. If Musk was contented with his old life, he wouldn't be the richest man today on earth. Contentment is not about not wanting more. The fact that somebody wants more doesn't mean they're not content with their current situation. Contentment is, yes, I have this now, I'm happy, but what else can I get? What else can I get? Question running through my mind and going on in my head does not mean I lack contentment. I don't put my eyes in other people's things. What I don't have, I don't force to get. But doesn't mean I won't go to my bed at night and ask myself, how can I grow? And when you say, you can put 2,000 here, put 1,000 here. If you all are happy with that, people that are categorizing themselves as they are successful here, in their retirement, they have $1 million. In this, they have this. That's okay. I'm not one that I want my life to be controlled, programmed. You will tell me when to sleep. You will tell me when to wake up. You will tell me when I can take a break to go and eat. You will tell me when I can go on vacation. I cannot spend more than so time. You will tell me I have to take permission before I go somewhere. And then you will now tell me how to spend the same money you pay me. You will program how I breathe. You program how I live my life. You program how I spend my hard-earned money. You program when I can wake up. You program when I can travel. You program how long I can stay on vacation. Some people see success as going on vacation once a year. That's not success. When I was a teenager, I was close to 20 then. I was watching the TV and they asked the man, what do you consider success? Can you say you are successful? He said yes. Then he said, what do you consider as success? He said he has visited 20 countries in the world. Really? That's success to you is not success to me. Wanting to visit countries of the world is not my definition of success. It's my way of learning to travel. It's my way of distressing. It's my way of just calming down. I just want to see places. I just want a life that I am stressed and I be like, where can I go? I just want a life that I wake up today and say, I don't feel like working today. I want a life that I have built people. I have empowered people that can be there when I'm not there. I want to daily solve problems. I want to wake up and be like, what is there to do today? Not waking up every day to the same thing. No. Not waking up every day to the same thing. The way God created humans, we're not supposed to be doing the same thing. We'll be bored. We will be bored. A lot of you are depressed. You just go on vacation to pretend like all is well. And the lies you tell yourself is, I have this in my 401k. That's your consolation. Every time you want to break down, that's what you remind yourself. I have this in my 401k. If you were truly happy and successful and depressed, you shouldn't be reminding yourself of what you have in your 401k, because there should be no reason to think in the first place. Are you truly happy? How many of you can say the job you do, you are truly happy? If not the money that keeps you going. So if somebody have decided to choose their happiness over that money that you see as your source of happiness, don't fault them, please. Let's respect ourselves. Let's respect people's decisions. Don't make people feel terrible of themselves because they made a decision they think is best for their lives. I just want to come here and let us know the true definitions of the English we speak, so we know when to use those English and not belittle people that know what they want because you choose to be content with your programmed life. And with this few points of mine, I'll see you on my next one. Thank you. I hope we have all learned English at least. Take care. Bye.